Well, good morning, friends. I am here this morning and I have some props with me. So, this is something that someone put in my little stocking this year, and it's called Memory Maze. How many of you old folks remember this? We called it Simon. And the object of the game is to figure out. See how the purple lit up? That means purple's the first one. You push it. So you follow. I'm going to purple, then red, and then it'll keep adding colors and keep adding colors, and you have to remember them. And it'll keep going. I don't want to make too much noise because it's still morning. So anyway, with that, if you forget, wah, wah, wah. So this was just a great prop this morning, and it was a great reminder because there are things in life that we want to remember. People always say, oh, don't forget history, because otherwise it'll repeat itself, right? So we remember what has happened so that we can learn lessons. We don't live in the past, but we can learn from the past, right? The other thing is, even in scriptures, there were tons of places where God encouraged his people to remember things, to remember what he did, to remember what he commanded, to remember his mercies. And he said also specifically, he says, the proud are the ones that forget him. So when we get all wrapped up in ourselves and we forget that it's bigger than ourselves, then it's not a good thing. So that's another one. I'm going to look at my list here and see, because I'm sure there's some other ones that are a blessing. Remember the days of old and consider them. Remember the words which he spoke. Remember Lot's wife, because she looked back. Again, we can learn from history, but we don't long for what's the past, right? Remember the word of the Lord. And then this one was interesting because he says, this is 2 Peter 1:13, I consider it right, as long as I am in this earthly dwelling, to stir you up by way of remembrance. So he's saying, even in remembering, for me to help you remember and remind you, and for you to remind me that that's a good thing and it's a right thing. So this morning I just thought that my little Simon would bring to us, something that would be helpful for a week maybe. And the other thing was correction tape. I love my props. No matter what we do, no matter where we are, all of life comes from the giver of life. So we can still, even the witty inventions we create or the things that we do, everything, if we look down at its core, there are still lessons to be learned. So correction tape is for when I make a mistake. When I make a mistake, if I'll acknowledge that there's a mistake there, I can get a correction tape and then I can fix it and do it over again. And life is filled with learning. Life is filled with growing. So we don't know it all, folks. So it'd be wise for us to be humble and honest with ourselves and others. And that when we're continuing to learn and we realize that there's something that we missed, that we can just humble ourselves and say, oh, I didn't know that. Or, wow, I wish I would have known that before I did this. And then you can go still, but I'm going to do that next time. I'm going to correct it for next time. I'm going to correct it for next time. So that's awesome, right? Who knew? Who knew that the corrector ribbon would be speaking to us this morning? Well, that's it for now, because time seems to pass so quickly when I'm with you. Have a great and glorious, love-filled and victorious day, my friends. Bye.